In the American imagination, reggae often sounds like peace, sunshine, and vague rebellion. But Tiken Jah Fakoly chose a different path. He named names. He challenged presidents. He turned melodies into accusations. Today, he lives quietly in Bamako, far from red carpets and headlines, yet his voice has traveled across Africa and angered those in power. This is not just the story of a reggae singer, but of an artist who used music as a political weapon. To understand how he became that voice, we have to go back to where his defiance was first formed. Tiken Jah Fakoly was born Doumbia Moussa Fakoly on June 23, 1968, in Odiene, a quiet town in the Kabadougou region of northwestern Côte d'Ivoire. He grew up in a strict Muslim family where discipline, obedience, and academic success were non-negotiable. Music, especially dancing, was seen as distraction, even rebellion. That tension defined his childhood early. By the age of 11, Fakoly was already considered a problem student. His grades were poor, and his passion for dancing worried his family. As punishment and correction, he was sent away to his father's village, Beleban, near the Guinean border. Life there was harder, more rural, and deeply traditional. But isolation had an unintended effect. Away from school pressure and expectations, he began listening closely to the radio. That's where reggae entered his life. International broadcasts introduced him to Bob Marley, whose death in 1981 hit Fakoly deeply. And later to Ivorian reggae pioneer Alpha Blondy. Reggae didn't sound like entertainment to him. It sounded like truth. It spoke about injustice, power, colonial wounds, and dignity, things he recognized long before he had words for them. Around the age of 18, after returning to Odiene, Fakoly began writing songs in secret. He hid notebooks. He composed quietly. In his world, music was not a career choice, it was a risk. But it was also becoming unavoidable. By 1987, he took his first real step. Fakoly formed a reggae group called Les Djellys, practicing discreetly and performing when they could. The band drew on his griot heritage, blending storytelling traditions with reggae rhythms. Early performances were local, small, and often unpaid, but word spread. Cassette tapes followed. Les Djellys around 1993 and Misiri in 1994, circulated hand-to-hand, long before radio support. Momentum grew when the group began ranking highly in regional competitions like the Marlborough Rockin' Contest, earning television exposure and nightclub gigs. That recognition pushed Fakoly to Abidjan in the mid-1990s, Côte d'Ivoire's economic and cultural center. Life there was unstable. He worked odd jobs, including collecting fares on minibuses, while performing at night and sharpening his message. In Abidjan, the music changed. The lyrics became sharper. Politics moved to the center. His 1999 album Mangerkrati was a turning point, an open attack on corruption, failed leadership, and broken promises. The album made him famous nationwide. It also made him dangerous. By 2003, amid civil unrest, Fakoly received threats and was forced into exile. Speaking truth had consequences. In 2007, after criticizing Senegalese President Abdoulaye Wade, he was declared persona non grata in Senegal. Still, he didn't soften his voice. Instead, he expanded his mission. In 2009, Fakoly launched Unconcert, Une École, One Concert, One School, using live performances to fund education projects across West Africa. Schools were built in villages like Toroni and Dionke in Mali, supported by concerts and media campaigns across Côte d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, and Guinea. Documentaries followed, including Africa's reggae legend in the making and Sababu, highlighting his role not just as an artist, but as a civic force. In 2014, he joined other African artists on Coconut Chocolate, supporting agricultural reform through the One organization. After decades of choosing truth over comfort, Tiken Jah Fakoly never built his career around wealth. He built it around independence. That choice defines his finances just as clearly as it defines his music. Income and net worth. Fakoly's net worth is estimated at around $1 million, a modest figure by global music standards, especially for an artist with more than 30 years of international recognition. But that number tells the right story. His income has always come almost entirely from his work, not from political patronage, brand endorsements, or softened messages. The foundation of his earnings comes from music sales and royalties. Over 3 decades, albums such as Manger Kreti, Francafrique, African Revolution, and others have continued to generate income through physical sales, digital platforms, and streaming. These records don't follow trends. They age slowly, carried by relevance rather than marketing cycles. Still, Fakoly's primary source of income has always been live performance. On stage, his message travels farthest and pays the bills. As a headline act at festivals across Europe, Africa, and the Americas, his performance fees are estimated to range between $75,000 and $150,000 per show, depending on venue and scale. Unlike many artists, he relies less on radio play and more on direct connection with audiences willing to listen and pay for substance. What stands out is not how much he earns, but what he refuses to earn. Fakoly has consistently avoided commercial endorsements that could dilute his political stance. He has rejected funding that comes with expectations of silence. That discipline limits financial upside, but it protects credibility. His wealth is sustainable precisely because it isn't dependent on compromise. And when money is earned this way, slowly, directly, and without strings, it naturally leads to a question that goes beyond personal comfort. Where does that money go? For Fakoly, income has never been the end of the story. It has been a tool, one he repeatedly turns toward education, community, and action. Philanthropy. At the center of his philanthropic work is the Toloni Association, a nonprofit he founded and personally runs, dedicated to children and education across Africa. Its mission is simple and direct: Enfants et Education en Afrique. In 2009, Fakoly turned that idea into a concrete model with the campaign Un Concert, Une École, One Concert, One School. The concept rejects distant charity. Through this campaign, Fakoly partnered with local associations and international supporters to raise funds not for administration, but for classrooms. The results are measurable. A school was built in the village of Toroni. A college followed in Dianke, Mali. Over time, reports indicate that the initiative contributed to the construction of 6 schools across the continent. A college in Mali, 2 primary schools in Côte d'Ivoire, 1 in Guinea, 1 in Niger, and 1 in Burkina Faso. Health advocacy has also shaped his activism. During the Ebola crisis in 2014, Fakoly joined Africa Stop Ebola, a collective of West African artists who released a charity single to counter misinformation and support frontline medical efforts. The project raised awareness and funds for Doctors Without Borders, MSF, emphasizing facts over fear. Alongside artists like Salif Keita, Amadou and Mariam, and Umu Sangare, Fakoly used music as a tool for survival, not symbolism. His commitment extends beyond education and emergency response. Fakoly has performed at benefit events for Solidarité Sida, including a major 2007 concert at the Olympia in Paris, supporting HIV/AIDS awareness and prevention. In 2014, he collaborated on the song Coco Na Chocolate with the One campaign, backing the initiative Do Agric, It Pays, which promotes fair opportunities for African farmers and agricultural development. What distinguishes Fakoly's philanthropy is proximity. He doesn't outsource responsibility. He tours, raises funds, follows up, and returns. The schools are not abstract achievements, they are places with names, villages, and students. This commitment to action over image explains why his public life is so exposed, and why his private life remains guarded. To understand how he protects that balance, we turn to the quieter side of his story. Personal life. After years of threats, exile, and political pressure, Fakoly learned that survival sometimes depends on what you don't share. He keeps his personal life deliberately quiet. On social media, he speaks almost exclusively about music, tours, and social causes. Family moments are rarely shown, not out of secrecy, but out of intention. He is married to Fatoumata, and together they have 3 children. Family life remains largely off-camera, forming a stable core behind his public activism. In recent years, Fakoly has continued recording and performing without slowing down. Around 2014, he returned to Ivory Coast to record music for the first time in nearly 2 decades. A quiet but meaningful gesture of reconnection. Still, he chose not to relocate. Bamako remains his base. There, he owns a club, supports local cultural initiatives, and stays engaged with the artistic life of the city, not as a celebrity, but as a participant. Fakoly has also spoken openly, though briefly, about personal habits. He has acknowledged occasionally smoking marijuana, while also encouraging others not to follow that path. It's a rare moment of contradiction, honesty paired with responsibility, reflecting his belief that influence must be handled carefully. To truly understand that balance, we return once more to Bamako, not just as a city, but as the environment that holds everything together. House in Bamako, Mali. In 2003, after receiving repeated death threats in Côte d'Ivoire over his openly political lyrics, Fakoly made a decisive move. Mali offered safety, but more importantly, it offered space to breathe, to think, and to continue speaking without fear. His home in Bamako reflects that purpose. It isn't designed to impress. It's designed to function. The layout is flexible, allowing for either 3 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms with a large study, depending on how life demands to be organized at any given moment. That adaptability mirrors Fakoly himself, an artist, activist, and thinker who refuses to be boxed in. At the heart of the house is an open-plan living and dining area, anchored by a modest fireplace. The space feels warm, grounded, and deliberately unpretentious. From here, the home flows naturally into a TV room, reinforcing the sense of continuity rather than separation. Nothing is hidden. Nothing is excessive. The design favors clarity. Double doors open onto a north-facing patio flooded with sunlight. It's the kind of space where time slows down, ideal for quiet conversations, hosting friends, or simply sitting alone with a notebook and the sounds of the city at a distance. The indoor-outdoor connection is seamless, reinforcing a lifestyle that stays close to nature rather than sealed away from it. The kitchen is fully equipped but practical, paired with a separate laundry area and direct access to a single garage. Every element serves a purpose. Convenience here is not luxury, it's efficiency. This is a home built to support daily life, not escape from it. Outside, a lush garden wraps around the property, leading to a simple front porch that feels more welcoming than grand. As the last house on the street, the property enjoys a rare level of privacy. There are no neighbors passing by, no interruptions, no need to look over one's shoulder. As we leave the quiet streets of Bamako and step away from the home that gave him safety, Tiken Jah Fakoly's story lingers. That house is not a retreat from the world, but a place where truth can survive and music can stay honest. Thank you for walking with us through this journey. If you value stories that go beyond fame and noise, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps keep these voices heard.